Cam Radio, we go ham at your boy Tony G and Big Lou, the sports book, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on KHAM Radio. Remember, just go to KHAM Radio, press play, 24 hours a day of great music and a lot of great programming. All right, Lou, get into it. Lots going on this weekend. Scheffler wins the green jacket again. That's the second green jacket. That was a good. It was a good tournament. Tiger made the cut, but did do that well. I think he was plus 10. But he's trying to stay relevant, I think. And he just had too many injuries over his career. That leg, the back.
Yeah.
But like I said, there was a lot of good action on the golf, which is cool. The big events you can try to pick your winner. You can even bet. I think on FanDuel you can even bet some holes. So there's always a lot of action on any of the major golfs, just like it is on. You don't see a lot of it, but on NASCAR, there's some on NASCAR.
Yeah.
You can pick the winner.
I have to do my homework with the NASCAR because I have a coworker of mine that he bet periodically on the NASCAR, but he knows all the drivers and the points and all that. So I have to do some info research to get, but I am because I'm going to get up on that and see what's going on with it. He said it's hard, but I don't think so. I think it's just look at it, all of it is look at the draw, but you have to know the drivers and how they do.
Yeah, there's a percentage. There's probably 5 drivers every race that have a serious chance of winning, and then it breaks down to 5 more. There's always going to be someone on the circuit that's plus 2,500. You can throw a couple bucks on them. You never know with a bad wreck. But usually there's anywhere between 5 and 7 drivers that truly have a shot at winning.
Right.
And like I said, it breaks down into the next 7 to the next 7. No surprises that Caitlin Clark going first, huh? In the WNBA draft.
Yeah, no surprises there. Yep, going number 1. They got the big prediction or the bold prediction is that she's headed to Indiana. I think they got the first pick. So that may be a good thing for her.
Yeah, everybody, it should be. It definitely will help bring some more attention to the WNBA, some more commercial deals and the TV deals. And I know the TV deal on the NBA, I think it's got 9 years left on it. So that ought to be good. How are we looking on the NBA and the playoffs?
Okay, NBA and playoffs. Okay, the play-in tournament. I guess I'll start with the West. With the play-in tournament, you got OKC. That's the you got the play-in tournament. You got Golden State against Sacramento Kings, which is a good matchup. It's a good matchup. A lot of people think that there's a lot of people going Sacramento in this, but they don't think that the Warriors have played good enough basketball this season to take them out due to their record and their size. They're saying that the Golden State has a depleted bench, so it's going to be hard for them to take on a team like that, especially young and they're long as well.
And then, so I think this offseason, unless a miracle happens, I think we're going to see a big shakeup in Golden State.
Yes.
I think it's time to retool and figure out who we keep and who we're getting rid of.
Absolutely.
Sacramento's young. I have to. How many games we got left?
This is it. They are in the middle of the play-in. Well, yeah. So they got to do the play in the ninth and the 10th seed. So in the West, you got Golden State versus Sacramento, and then you have the Lakers versus the Pelicans to play Denver, the 2 seed. And then the winner
Okay.
out of Golden State and Sacramento play the 1 seed OKC. Now, I was listening to some commentary and doing some research earlier, and they were saying this is the best opportunity for the Lakers. You want to get, you want to get Denver early because, of course, that's what you're gonna have to see in the conference final, hands down. So it's best to get to them early while LeBron still got healthy leg. He's not beat down by going through the playoffs. So this would be the best chance for them to snag a victory and get them out early, and then they can pretty much navigate the rest of the way. I'm
So
kind
let
of. Well, go
me
ahead,
go ahead.
sir.
What I was going to say is, how do you feel about the Lakers against the Pelicans? The spread is they're favoring the Pelicans by 1.5 points, which is basically a pick 'em. The over's 224. Do you think the Lakers have a real shot of beating the Pelicans?
I think they have a legitimate shot because LeBron is playing out of his mind. He knows that this is probably the last little wedge in the window because it's been doing this every year. So it's about here where you could just barely get through. So I think he's going to play lights out. Uh, AD's going to be, AD with the back spasms. That might be an issue going forward. I think they can beat the Pelicans because of the experience that they have, and I don't think New Orleans has enough firepower. They will get into the play-in, but can they beat Denver in 7 games?
Well, like you always say, this is a one game,
Yeah, this is one and done. So
one and done. So I like the Lakers one and done. Um, I do. I like the Lakers one and done to win. Um,
mhm.
I like Sacramento to beat Golden State. I think
and,
because it's one and done, and we're going back to the one and done. Now, if it was seven, I would go well. But Golden State could get hot, game 2 or 3, turn it
mhm.
on. But if Golden State doesn't come out and dominate, light them up, it's going to be a long night because, like you said, they got plenty of bigs, um, and and Golden State has been kind of beat up this season.
Yes,
Injuries.
yeah,
Um,
injuries. Clay going through it. He's shaking
yeah.
back, but just a little bit too late. Um,
Do you think
if
this is his
they
last in uh in uh in Golden State?
It sure looks that way. If they lose this play-in, it's going to be hard to convince the upper management to pay him and keep him around. I think they're going to have to go deep in the playoffs for everybody to stay. I mean, conference championship, or maybe they have to get to the finals. I can't. I wouldn't be so optimistic as the finals with the way the team is now. They're bench light. So if they can go deep in the playoffs, then you have to do some reevaluating and make some decisions. But if they don't make it in, it's going to be hard to keep play. It's going to be hard to pay play, and he's going to probably end up going somewhere else just to mentally. It's mental with him as far as what's going on with him. I think it's just. I think it's the whole dynasty thing is wearing him down, and I think he want to just get away from that. He's got his 3, 4. He's got his championships. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think he just want to get away and just play basketball without the weight of having to be a champion all of the time. And I totally understand.
Right. Um. So let me ask you this: maybe we're putting the horse before the cart.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting if Golden State wins, they got to play Oklahoma.
Yes. Okay. See.
OKC. Well, Sam and Oklahoma must have beat Denver one more time because they actually finished tied.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact record. Um, and then my only thing with, like you said, with the Lakers is this would be their best opportunity to beat the Nuggets. First first thing. But I think nothing taken away from the Lakers, but it's gonna be a battle for
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be easy. It's not
them. No,
going to be easy, and they could very well. I don't think they're going to get swept, but I think they could very well be a 6 game, a 5, 6 game series, depending on how the wheels are rolling for Denver. But if they want to do some damage, or if they want to, get through the playoffs, this is their opportunity. Now, you have the big chunk of it. You get rid of it early.
right. So going to the Eastern Conference, 7,
Mm-hmm.
8, 9, and 10, we got Atlanta Hawks against the Chicago Bulls. Um, that number 10 plays number 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Chicago or Atlanta against the Celtics.
Against the
That's a rough.
Celtics in the first round, that's rough.
That's a that's a,
Play
that's a
in.
that's a big. Yeah, that's a big mountain to climb. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about New York squeaking into number 2?
I think that's pretty dope. Jalen Brunson is definitely, showed up this season. And
Right.
if Randall can stay healthy, stay on the court, they could. I'd say they probably make it around. They probably make it to the second round with what they and making it to the playoffs is a win for New York basketball. So
Yeah.
it's definitely missed. It's definitely needed. You know, it, it's just they management kind of had some crazy mishaps over some decades. But I'm excited for them. And I hope they do well. But I think after the first round, it's gonna be a real battle for
So Atlanta and Chicago. Who do you like?
them. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because they're kind of well, I have been
They're,
following the Bulls basketball. Do they have their key? I have to look at their roster to see if they have their key players intact because they got shooters, you know,
yep.
and uh and I'm not sure, Atlanta's kind of like if Trey is off one day, then it's a
Soft.
done deal. Or he has a
Yeah.
hiccup game, and he's going to have one. He's, his entire career in playoff form, he's had that hiccup game. So you can count on it. It's just win. So
Miami and 76ers. So I like Chicago. I like
yeah,
Chicago over Atlanta
yeah,
minus
hmm
3.5.
I'm with you on that.
And so Miami and the Sixers, they're giving Philly's the favorite. I mean, just
Hmm
what I don't understand about Miami is why they didn't make more moves to get that man more more firepower. Um, I don't understand what Miami's trying to do it all in house as cheap
Yeah,
as
they're
they
trying
can
to
get
do
it.
a factory system, and that's not going to do it in the Eastern Conference.
No,
Yeah, you're gonna have to get some stars. You're gonna have to get them some players. You gotta get them some bigs. Some and I get it and I understand and it's been successful for what they want to accomplish, but they got to get him some stars in there. Y'all got to spend a little bit of money to get him the players he needs to take y'all over the hump. It's
right.
right there in front of their face. They need some key role players and some stars, which means you're gonna have to loosen up your pocketbook or your wallet or whatever, you know. But it'll bring you the chip that you've been longing for since LeBron left.
Right. Um, Winner of that game goes against the Knicks, which is going to be a good series.
Hmm.
And then I guess it goes after that. Then it just goes 3 against 4, 5 against 6.
Yes.
Um,
Or 3 against 6, 4 against 5,
there you go.
which is
4 against
weird.
5.
Which is
Yeah.
weird that the four go against the fifth seed.
The So Milwaukee against Indiana.
Hmm.
Um, we know Indiana can definitely score some points. Uh, and then 6 against 3 Milwaukee. Like I said, these are all going to be. I have to check what they're giving. They haven't. Well, they posted some of it, but I like to wait the week when it starts to look at
Hmm.
who's the favorite for the series, and then Cleveland against Orlando. And Cleveland was, they were 3-2 there for a second,
Yeah.
and then they kind of faded down to 4 where they're at right now. But they got a good team. Um, everybody, to me, to be honest with you, 2 to 6 are pretty darn equal.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Totally, and you could even argue 2 to 8 are pretty darn equal. Um, and one's by itself. Yeah, and the Celtics are on a right now. They're on the way they've been playing. They're on like a whole different level. Um, and it's going to take somebody having a heck of a series to knock them out or something. I see it. It's very. We'll just have to see. Like so, looking at it right here because
Hmm.
the series haven't started. Injuries, things can happen. But looking at it right now on paper, I don't see anyone in the Eastern Conference really coming close to Boston.
Right.
That's my in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. In the
Um,
Eastern Conference.
in the Eastern Conference. Now the Western Conference, this is where it gets a little funky for me.
Hmm.
1, 2, and 3 are real close.
Yes.
The only thing that separates 1, 2, and 3 is how well Denver plays in a 7 game series.
Right. It
That's
looks
what
like
scares
that.
me.
Yeah. But it looks like they're starting to pick up on their defensive play. Both of them, Kyrie and Luka. Looks like they're picking up on their defensive play. I think they're just a big away from start putting a dent in some of their West Coast playoff talk.
Yeah.
This
See,
is
I
a
like
big or a perimeter shooter with Luca.
so 5. Let me see. So we got that. 3 is going to play 5.
Hmm.
4's wait a minute. 4 and 5 are playing. 3 and 6
Yeah,
are
well,
evening, correct?
yes, absolutely. Four
Okay.
and five, which is the Clippers versus Luca and the Mavericks, Luca and
Yeah.
Kyrie. And we got Minnesota versus Phoenix, KG and the crew, which
Yeah.
you know didn't really pan out. They really didn't pan out like everybody thought. A lot of the NBA players that do sports shows and commentary, a lot of them are in agreement with they need an alpha or a dog, if you will, a,
Okay.
a dog, somebody that's not afraid to or doesn't care to upset people a little bit. The guys they have kind of just ride the wave. KD is a ride the wave type guy. He's not a guy that's going to get all in your face or whatever. He's going to just make it work, you know. And they don't have that one person that's is going to let somebody know right there that they're screwing up. Same thing's
Sounds like a
going
good.
on, yeah, and it's the same thing going on with the Clippers. They're almost the same.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
hate to say it, but Russ was the dog of their team, and they let him go.
Right. Right. I mean, the Clippers at the end of this year, if they don't make a deep run, I mean, you got to go. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We get the same results.
Yeah, but they got that arena that he's got to open, so he's got to have some stars to open it.
Yeah.
Got to fill those seats. So we'll have to just see with that one.
Like I said, I really like Minnesota, Denver, and the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
I know Clippers, Dallas, Suns. I'm not taking anything away from them. Um, I just really like Denver's playing the 7 games. They seem to
Mm-hmm.
put it all together, um, and that's really and that's where Dallas doesn't do. You know what I mean? Like I would, with the right odds, I would take Dallas to win, to beat Denver for a night, not for 4 games. That's
Right.
the that's my only difference. That's my only thing with them. Because I think with like teams like Minnesota and Denver,
Mm-hmm.
you can't let them get 2 games up on you.
Right.
It's not there. You don't have that kind of team to come back and rip off 4 in a row. I mean, it's possible. It's just not probable. Um,
Right.
so a lot of the games like we did last year, like we were talking about, but game to game,
Mm-hmm.
like the Lakers have a tendency of starting off a little bit slow in a 7 game series. Don't know why. Just seems to be. Last year it
Right.
was game one. It was like, we'll just bet
Mm-hmm.
against them game one. And they made a decent run, but, it's just for some reason it took a second to get them. But I think they know in their heart when they get past, if they can get past New Orleans, there's no room for that. You
Right.
know what I
Right.
mean? You're gonna have to punch Denver in their mouth first night.
Absolutely. You got to come aggressive. Uh, Also, Yoki's going to get his.
Yeah,
Period.
no doubt.
He's going to get his. Going to have MVP finals, I think. But at the same time, you got to kind of eliminate of what's going on around him. And then when
Right.
you do that, he just takes the balls and scores. So that's why I say it's going to be, if the Lakers want to win, it's got to be now.
Yeah. No, ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt. That's definitely no doubt. They got to be on. They got to be on top of 12. That's easy.
Hmm.
Easy. Yeah, they got to be on top of the game. Not a lot of room for error. Especially they're older team. I mean, it's just there's a lot of factors.
Hmm.
Uh,
Right.
and don't sleep on Minnesota. Don't sleep on
No.
Minnesota. They are definitely. Um, who's your biggest disappointment this year, team wise?
Pay wise, probably Memphis.
Yeah, I
Because
can.
with
Yeah,
y'all returning, I felt like he was on his trajectory, but he got hurt again. But at the same time, they just kind of plateaued a little bit. I thought there was going to be
yes,
a upright, I thought there was going to be a little bit more behind him when he came back, but I didn't see that.
no, not at all. Memphis is one of them. Um, I thought the Spurs were going to win more games than they did. I'm not
Hmm.
saying a bunch, but I thought they would win. I would have bet on them winning 30 plus games, not 22. Um,
Right.
and it's and Toronto seems like they've slipped. When Kyrie first left, they maintained. You know what I mean? They
Hmm.
still had a winning, I think, for 2 years, and now it's going back to where it was. Um,
Yeah.
and in Charlotte, I mean, they haven't been good, and it's a rough. Um, and then you got Washington, you got Detroit, that's just miserable. Um,
Right.
14 wins the whole season. I was like, golly. Um, and Brooklyn looks like they're going to be at the basement for a while.
Yes.
I don't think.
Yes.
I mean, and I really feel bad for them because I feel like what else could you ask? You got
Right.
3 superstars. I mean, what have you done? Well, let's see. We had KD. Well, you know what I'm saying? We got Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
And we got, it's like, holy cow. And it just didn't work. And it's a good example of just because you put a bunch of stars together doesn't mean you win a
Doesn't mean
championship.
that. Right. It doesn't mean that they gel.
Yeah, and obviously they didn't gel at all. And then Harden,
Right.
how long does Harding have on his contract? See,
I'm
is
gonna
it
have
a
to look that up
is it a
because I think
one?
it was a 1 year.
A 1 year.
I think
Okay,
it was a 1 year deal.
it'd be
So
interesting to
we'll
see
see
where
at
he
the end of the season, to see where he ends up or if he stays.
has ball, will travel, will score a lot of
Right.
points. Um, that's about the end of the story, I guess, with him.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
got enough points and everything to go to the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
And there's no doubt. You got anything underlining with the Saints? Or all
The only
quiet
thing,
on the front.
they signed a couple of guys in free agency. I saw I saw where they signed one of the corners from San Francisco for
Okay,
the defense. So they're getting young. It looks like they're getting younger, but still no word on still no, nothing real big. Mostly, non-starters or you know what I'm saying, B-rated players.
role players.
Yes.
Well, like I said, we got a while to go on that.
Hmm.
Spring, we got starts in August. Um, uh, Not preseason, but training. So I mean,
Yeah,
we're
we
not.
got
I know it's out.
the draft's coming up, or draft's coming up. When is it? The draft is coming this weekend, isn't it? Isn't it? It's
Yeah,
pretty close.
yeah, pretty close. And then we got the Derby coming up. We'll be talking about that next week. Um, we got a lot. We got some stuff. It's kind of a very slow time of year for sports gambling. There is a lot of sports, but it's kind of there's a lot of baseball, a lot of this, a lot of that. You got to pick and choose what games you can maximize your potential on. Um,
Hmm.
but I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, AM radio. Go to our webpage. Go to our Facebook page, Sportsbook or Cam Radio. Drop us a DM. Talk to me and Big Lou. Mr. Tony G and Big Lou. Wishing you guys a heck of a night right here on KM Radio, where we go ham.
Yeah.
Here we go.